Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I'm very excited to dig into the latest expansion for Arkham Horror, the card game, one of my top games of all time, The Drowned City. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So this is going to be my first experience with this one. I mean, I've looked through the new rules. I've made a deck using one of the new investigators, Lucius Galloway. I'm going to try single-handing this one because this character looks like he might be able to make it work in an unconventional way. He kind of evades and gets clues at the same time, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to read through the beginning of the campaign and play through the first scenario in this video, and then my plan is to do a second video of the next scenario in the campaign as a Patreon video, if you want to go and watch that and see how the story continues. And then like I did for Feast of Hemlock Vale, once I get around to finishing the entire campaign, which can take a while with all the other games I have to cover, I will try to do a review of it overall. But let's jump in with some narrative introduction and see what the game has to offer. Prologue, April 15th. Something hasn't seemed right for a while. It has been an unusually cold year with heavy snow, rain, and fog keeping the New England sky in a state of perpetual melancholy. A restive nervousness seems to have crept into all aspects of domestic life. Small arguments on street corners come to blows. Muffled shouts and screams resound behind closed doors. A not insignificant number of students have simply stopped attending classes at Miskatonic University. The people of Arkham feel it in their bones. Something is different. Something feels wrong. One last job. You suppress a shiver in the cool spring air as you wait under a flickering street lamp. Tonight is the last night of your employ under Randall Tillingast, a local curio dealer. The antiquarian's latest shipment from New Orleans has gone missing, and he has tasked you with its recovery. This is just the latest in a string of risky and often illicit errands for the cunning old man. Tonight's job should pay enough to satisfy the rest of your debt to Tillingast. Both of your informants arrive on time. Ruby Standish, infamous jewel thief, approaches with a knowing smirk. The plucky reporter, Andy Van Nortwick, comes soon after. Tillingast seems to draw the most eclectic mix of specialists for his favors. Between Ruby and Andy's accounts, you piece together a rough idea of the shipment's location. I tracked it from the warehouse in Southside to a few black market dealers in Rivertown. No luck, I'm afraid, Ruby says. Andy takes off his hat and wipes his brow. I nearly bought it in a firefight downtown. Sounds like the Sheldons and O'Banions are at it again. The two gangs are in the midst of another turf war. Something about a load of missing hooch. It's possible the missing shipment was just scooped up with the gang's actual mark. You shiver as a chill wind stirs the air. Ruby smiles rakishly. What do you say to a little wager? Double or nothing. The first one to score the shipment gets it all. Hope you're ready to lose, she smirks. Before he can reply, she's already melted into the shadows. All right, so we're starting on Tillingast Esoterica, but I'll talk about the agenda and the act and what's going on with my character in a second. And yes, they're still getting use out of the initial locations from the second mission of the core game. Dang, I feel like I've been in these locations a billion times before. So let's meet me, Lucius Galloway. So not great willpower, really good intelligence, amazing agility, and by the way, I'm not sure if these are the exact names of these stats, I just kind of make them up, and terrible strength. And he's got not great sanity, which is what I'm most worried about. But after you successfully evade an enemy by 2 or more, discover one clue at your location once per round. So not only does he evade, but he gets free clues for doing so. And his deck construction is Seeker cards and Rogue cards. So I've got a bunch of things to help me evade better and also investigate. I don't have much of anything to help with my strength or my brain, so hopefully I won't lose too much horror from that. I'll do it. Although I do have one item in here that can potentially recover some horror. It comes from the new investigator set that they sent me, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's Lucius. Now let's see what's going on with the agenda and the act. Okay, Arkham Nightlife. The moon casts long shadows that reach across the ground like searching fingers. You've always seen the city as home, but tonight Arkham feels like another place entirely. After the last clue is discovered from an Arkham location, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. One at a time, spawn each criminal enemy discarded this way at the nearest empty location. Now, that's not great. And then questioning the gangs. You need to find out what happened to Tillingast's shipment. With the increased gang activity all over Rivertown, you think that checking in with the Sheldons and the O'Banions is the best place to start. Okay, so it's 2 + 1 per player, so actually 3 threshold. If we spend X clues and parlay with an engaged criminal with X or fewer remaining health at your location, well, it's going to be their max health because I don't have any way to hurt them, place 1 clue on the sack. So we got to interrogate or talk to 3 gang members by spending clues on them. Okay, and then at the end of the round, if the number of clues is ready, we advance. Okay, interesting. So I can't really fight, but I can dodge around them until I get enough clues and then spend the clues to get rid of them. So that seems like it'll work out pretty decently. And by the way, interestingly, I don't remember them doing this very often. There are 2 versions of Act 1A, and I've randomly shuffled them. My guess is that one's going to be for the O'Banions and one's going to be for the Sheldons, so like it'll change up what happens next. All right, so let's see what we got in our initial hand. So crack the case. This gets me a lot of resources when we find the last clue at our location. String along is a new one from the expansion. Should be good for my character. When you attempt to evade an enemy, exhaust string along. For this invasion attempt, you get +1 skill value, and the enemy gains alert, which means if I fail, they hurt me. If you succeed, draw 1 card and do not disengage from that enemy, so they'll keep following me along as I move, even though they're exhausted and won't attack me. Which seems useful to get to my 2 threshold to get a clue. I can bring them along with me to locations that have clues on them to evade them next turn and get other free clues, and it gives me automatic card draw. Lone Wolf is always one I like to include with my my rogue decks. Limit 1 per investigator. When your turn begins, if there are no other investigators at your location, which there won't be because single player, gain 1 resource. Definitely keeping those. Oh, both copies of Manual Dexterity. Nah. Crack the case. Nah. Let's go in and redraw for these. Okay, I got another new card from the expansion. This is the only ally I have in my deck, Alton O'Connell. So he gives me +1 dodge, again, good for my whole dodging thing. After you succeeded a skill test by exactly 3, place 1 resource on him as evidence, and then exhaust him and spend X evidence to discover a clue at your location. X is the shroud value. The only weak thing about him is that he doesn't have much sanity himself, so I can't really help to keep Lucius alive very well. I got another crack the case, and I got Fox Mask. Limit 1 max per investigator. I think these were from Hemlock Grove or Hemlock Vale. Has 2 uses, but you replenish 1 whenever you move out of a location with an enemy, which when I'm evading should happen pretty often. I can spend an offering to get +2 intelligence or agility for a skill test, which is great for what I want to mainly do. All right, so not a bad start. Didn't get any of my permanent intelligence raising items that can help me investigate better, but this will be good for now. All right, so let's jump into the first round. Tillinghast Esoterica is connected to the location to its right and vice versa, so we're connected to the university. Purveyor of sundry delights, exotic treasures, wondrous baubles, and innumerable secrets. Recent ad in the Arkham Advertiser. Okay, we got 1 clue here, 3 shroud. Investigators of this location can spend 1 times the number of players' clues. In your campaign log, record the investigators discovered an alien language. Well, if I can get a clue, that seems like a fine thing to do. Speaking of clues, let's put 1 there. All right, so should I investigate there? All right, so I got 3 actions. Definitely want to play Lone Wolf and start getting free resources every turn so I can pay for everything. I could do Fox Mask and then investigate with that. Sure. Let's play the Fox Mask for 1. And it's got 2 uses on it. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and get myself to a 6 intelligence and explore at the Tillinghast place for a clue. So I'm 3 up. Seems pretty good, especially with the 0. Oh, actually, oh, darn it, I haven't played the ally yet. That means I beat the skill by 3, which means he would have gotten, if I'd played him, the evidence on him. Oh, well. So I've got a clue. I might just, on my very next turn, play that as my first action to decipher the language or whatever, and then I can go and actually start doing stuff. All right, no enemies. I get a resource. I get a card. Oh, pickpocketing. Whenever I evade an enemy, draw a card. Seemed to make sense when I'm theoretically going to be evading quite a lot. And gosh, between that and string along, I could just draw for days. And go to the Mythos phase. 7. Oh, crud. Hold on. No, never mind. This is not an Arkham location, so it does not trigger the ability. Everything else, all the other 5 places are Arkham locations. See the little keyword right there. But yes, we do not look through the encounter deck for an enemy. Instead, we're just getting Drawn to Darkness. Put Drawn to Darkness into play in your threat area. Your maximum hand size reduced by 3. I just talked about all my great card draw. When your turn ends, if you have no cards in hand, discard Drawn to Darkness. That's a kind of nasty thing to start with. But I'm actually okay right now because usually you have to discard down to 8 cards at the end of a round. So that means max hand size right now is 5. Whatever. All right, so we're going right back in and I get a free resource from Lone Wolf. Let's go ahead and do the little thing. So I have deciphered the language, although there goes my only clue for now. And then next, what the hey, let's play Alton O'Connell out to hopefully start getting some over by 3 skill tests. And then let's move to the only place we can, Miskatonic University. One of the most prestigious colleges in the Northeast, the University Library is famous for its collection of occult books maintained by the esteemed Dr. Henry Armitage. Oh my gosh, 4? It does have 2 clues. Search the top 6 cards of your deck for a tome or spell. Nope, we're not doing that. Oh, it's got a victory if we fully explore it, though. Right, we get another money, love Lone Wolf, and we get, Nimble is a skill. For each point your skill test succeeds by, after it resolves, you may immediately move to a connecting location a maximum of 3 times. Figured that'll be nice to get around the board quickly. All right, we're going to second Doom, and Caught in the Crossfire. God, it goes in my threat area as well. When damage is dealt to a criminal enemy at your location, test Brain or Dodge. If you fail, reduce the damage dealt to the enemy by 1 and take 1 direct damage, and then discard Caught in the Crossfire. So, I mean, if I'm not dealing damage, unless they deal damage to each other, I shouldn't have to even worry about this, because I'm not going to be punching anybody. But yes, lots of stuff sitting in my hand for now. All right, I get another resource, and let's see what we want to do. At the moment, I got a ton of stuff that's great if I start evading people, which I don't need to do yet. But I also don't think I can actually investigate Miskatonic University successfully. So let's move to Rivertown. And, you've already probably seen these flavor texts before. The banks of the Miskatonic River are lined with docks, warehouses, and small shops in a district aptly named Rivertown. There's something unsettling about the water of the Miskatonic River tonight. It ripples and bubbles as though something is moving beneath the surface. Well, it used to be ghouls. I don't know what it is now. We got 1 clue there. With only 1 shroud. Well, that's very nice. And this connects, it's like a little circuit. This connects to East Town, which connects to Downtown, which connects to North Side, which connects back to the university. So these are all kind of like a little circle. All right, now, if I search here, I'm going to trigger the Arkham Nightlife ability, which will get some criminals out, which is in a way good for me if I can get enough clues to get rid of them and put the clue on the act to advance. So sure, let's investigate here. I'm up by 3, so if I get a 0, I'll trigger Alton's ability. Or I'll beat it by 0 and still get the clue, but nothing else. All right, now immediately after the last clue is discovered from Arkham location, discover the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, and then each criminal is spawned at the nearest empty location. That's what we've got. Oh, there's a criminal. Gang Soldier. I need 2 clues for them. The nearest empty location. Well, let's put him back at the university because I want to go to East Town and potentially get more clues. Okay, and then, nope, just an obscuring fog, and nope, Crypt Chill. Yeah, you'll see that they're using a lot of the old Arkham cards, at least in this first scenario. And then I have 1 action left, right? Should I just go to East Town? Yeah, I guess that's good enough for now. So, the East Town neighborhood, situated on the northern banks of the Miskatonic River, contains lower-class housing, the Arkham Police Station, and popular eaters like Velma's Diner. I'll get only a 2 shroud. Well, you're in East Town, reduce the cost of each ally you play by 2. Well, that would have been nice earlier. I need both these clues just to get this one guy gone. How am I going to get enough clues? I mean, ideally I could punch the guy, but that's not really in the cards for this character. All right, we're up to 3 Doom, and let's see what we got. Put Drawn to Darkness in, limit 1 per investigator. So it doesn't have Surge, so I guess we just don't get it. Yay! That was the nicest encounter ever. It's back to me. Man, I have too many resources with Lone Wolf. I should have put more expensive things. I want to use Crack the Case just to get some more resources and get it out of my hand, because right now I'm at my max hand size. So first action, I'll go ahead and investigate here with a 2 bonus. And we get, okay, dang it, but it's not 3 to get Alton's thing going. So that's 2 clues. That's enough to deal with the Gang Soldier, but I need to do 2 more units. What the heck? But I am going to go ahead and play Crack the Case. So it's fast, doesn't cost an action. After investigator discovers the last clue at your location, I get X resources, where X is the shroud value. It's only 2, but whatever. Again, I want to get it out of my hand. All right, so it was only 1. I mean, I don't need to play anything yet. I have enough room. I mean, it will be too late to boost my evading once somebody's actually on me, but so what? Oh, crud. I got to do the thing again, don't I? 1, not a criminal. 2, not a criminal. And 3, not a criminal. Okay. I kind of want more criminals because then I could leave them back there unless they have Hunter. All right, so second action. Let's go to downtown. The downtown area of Arkham is filled with government buildings, including City Hall, the First Bank of Arkham, Independence Square, and Arkham Asylum can also be found in this area. It's the busiest district in the city. Gain resources 3 once per game. I don't think I need to do that. It's got a 3. Maybe I'll use my Fox Mask on this one. Oh, wait, never mind. I just drew a Perception. Let me use that. Okay, so I'm going to play Perception. So that gets me to 6 intelligence versus 3. And, what is this? X is the number of criminals in play. I didn't see the others. -2, -4 if there's a criminal at your location. -3 if you fail, discard the top 3 cards of the thing. And then, spawn a criminal engage with you. Way worse than the other effect. But here it's just -1, which means I beat it by 2, so not enough to get a token on Alton. But it is my 3rd clue. And we're potentially spawning some more guys. No. It's Swarm of rats, not a criminal. No. All right, man, nobody. When I get to draw a card from another copy of Lone Wolf. Great. At least it gives me a foot for the evading I'm not doing to use my power. Oh, I just remembered, if I evade Gang Soldier, who's very easy to evade, once per round, I can get a clue for free from the most difficult to explore place that has a victory value. Oh, man, I got to do that once I get back over there before I get rid of the guy. I kind of need to speed things up. Gosh, only 7 Doom on the first card. And Dissonant Voices. Oh, this is okay. You can't play assets or events, and at the end of the round, it'll go away. That's really pretty minor. Can I have 5 cards again? Oh my gosh, I just have so much money. 5, 9? If I crack the case again, it'll be even more. Well, so it goes. And actually, I'm getting 10 right now because I'm starting my turn. All right, so 1, north side. About to go see that Gang Soldier. Okay, there's another victory point 1. Ooh, spend 5 resources, gain 2 clues from the token pool. Yes, I'm going to do that. All right, so that was 1 action. 2 actions. Let's go and use that power. I got so much money. Gets me to 5 clues. That's enough to get rid of him and, like, theoretically another guy with 2 life. And then, I don't know if anybody has 1 life. We'll see. Now, I do have too many cards. I'm going to go ahead and use Crack the Case, not to get money, but to add 1 to get me 2 over the threshold here. As I investigate for my last action, that's still just -1. Nice. I'm at 6 clues, which feels like it's enough. Although I don't know what's going to happen after the act advances. All right, what did I draw? Ooh, Slip Away is a nice one. Add your intelligence to your skill value for evasion. So I would have a 9. If you succeed by 2 or more and the evaded enemy is non-elite, it does not ready during the next upkeep phase. So if I get some kind of like nasty boss guy or hunter that's going to keep tracking me down, that should help out. Man, we got to get things going. Oh, here's a criminal. Aloof, which means you can't punch him. But I think I can still do the thing, right? Nearest Arkham location with clues. Oh, which is where I am, right? North side. Okay, cool. After investigator at gang informant's location discovers 1 or more clues while this enemy is ready, they must either spend 3 resources or place 1 doom on the current agenda. Well, I don't care. I'm just going to pay him off, right? Spend clues. Parlay. Discard and engage. Oh, an engage criminal enemy. So I'll have to waste an action just to engage them before I can use the little thing to get my first clue on here. Oh, Dissonant Voices is gone, by the way. But, oh no, I did draw a new one. That was the gang person. Right now, should I try to evade them? But no, they're not engaged with me. And if I engage them, then evade them, then they won't be engaged with me again. Although I could play String Along, because then I get +1 value, and the enemy gains alert. And if I succeed, draw 1 card and do not disengage from that enemy. But would I have enough actions? If I play this, then engage them, then evade them. I'm doing all this, by the way, if you're wondering what the heck are you talking about, Mike, so that I can get the clue for free. Although I don't necessarily need more clues. I just want that experience point, really. You know what? I've got the Fox Mask. Let's just go ahead and do things simpler. So I'm going to engage for 1 action, pay off and question for another one. So I'm going to spend 1 clue for their 1 life. Leaves me with 5 clues. They get discarded, and I need to do that 2 more times here. And then for my third action, I'm going to try to get the other clue from north side using my last current use of the Fox Mask to get me to 6. So 3 over the Shroud again. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I don't even know what mine does. After you successfully... No. +1 for each enemy or location, which is 0, which puts me at 3 over, which means Alton gets a resource for me beating it by exactly 3, and he'll let me get a clue for free that had a 1 Shroud value. I don't think I'm going to do this enough to get up to the Miskatonic University getting 1 for free. But we did finish this off for the experience point, and let's see if more criminals are coming. Nope. Oh, another Gang Soldier, so that'll be on downtown. And okay, that's it. So I have enough clues to complete both of them. I just don't have enough actions to do it before the agenda pops. And, ooh, I drew my special card, Book of Verse. This is the unique card for Lucius. So it has 1 inspiration on it. Replenish this inspiration the first time you discover a clue each round. This would have been better earlier. After revealing chaos tokens during a skill test, spend 1 inspiration to get +1 skill value for that skill test. And then if you succeed by exactly 0, draw 1. Oh, crud. Speaking of drawing cards, I have too many. Bye-bye, extra copy of Lone Wolf. Stupid Drawn to Darkness. All right, we're at 6 out of 7. Uh-oh. And Rotting Room. Oh, no. When I fail by take 1 heart, and I have no way to boost this. I probably need to get a little bit... Well, you know what? I don't really need my Book of Verse. I'm going to use this because my guy doesn't have a lot of sanity. So that's +2. So I'm at 4 out of 3. And minus... Oh, that's actually good. So I don't take any heart. Although I did, again, lose my unique card for my character. Oh, well. All right, so now let's go ahead and do the thing. So let's move down here. Gang Soldier immediately engages me. He's not like the other guy. That's very nice. But before I do the thing, I want to evade him. So I've got +1. So I've got 6 versus 2. Seems like it should be enough. That's -2 for 2 criminals. So I don't get a token on Alton. But I definitely evade the guy back to the location. And I did beat the test by at least 2, so once per turn I can get a clue for my location. So 1 more and I'll lock in the extra victory point. And I'll do the whole thing, putting the clue on him and all that in just a moment. And what I draw... Man, here it freaking is. Look, lockpick. Look how good lockpicks is, okay? Exhaust lockpicks to add your agility value to your skill value for investigation. I would be at a 9. But if you do not exceed by at least 2, discard lockpicks. But yeah, like even on this 4 here, I would need to... to not succeed by at least 2. 9 over 4, a 5. I would need to get a -4 to lose the lockpick. So yeah, I was hoping I would get that earlier, but no such luck. And now there's like pretty much no clues left in the entire world. All right, well, time's running out. Let's see what happens. Moving quickly down the avenue to your next destination, you see a suspicious-looking woman in a long coat step out from a nearby alley. You turn down a side street to avoid her and nearly run into a man with a wicked scar running down his right cheek. He takes a drag from his cigarette, tosses to the sidewalk, and glowers at you. You step back only to bump into the woman you saw before. She smiles. "Where are you going, pal? We just want to talk." Spawn 1 set-aside gang enforcer. Uh-oh. Gang and... they're kind of nasty. One set-aside gang enforcer engage with the investigator with the most clues. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Well, clearly that's me. She's got Hunter. 3 if I want to get rid of her. The first time you turn on an investigator, this enemy's location attacks another criminal enemy. Gang enforcer readies and attacks that investigator. Yikes. Oh, but victory 1. Okay. And then Long Night. Your every step is dogged by both the Sheldons and the O'Bannies. It seems like the 2 warring gangs have put aside their beef to end your investigation. Really? What am I even doing, man? It's the exact same effect, still 7. Okay. Well, then I do have to... Test that. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. Well, that's fine. I think there's no card. Oh, that was actually pretty close. I've only failed by 1. But I'll get rid of my Fox Mask. I've already gotten the 2 uses out of it. I'm going to get rid of both of the enemies engaged with me, so I don't know how often I'll be moving away from them. And I'd rather have Lone Wolf for money to still be happening. All right, well, I got the money. I got lots of money. But this is nice. Look at this. I can 1-2 punch it. And although I could try to evade the gang soldier first and get that last clue for a victory. Yeah. Oh, crap. But if I do that, then I'm not engaged with him anymore. I can use the lockpicks or something later. So let's go ahead and see what the next part of this mission is. So I'm going to, as 1 action, spend X clues, discard and engage criminal enemy. Now it is discard, so I don't think that the gang enforcer counts as defeated for the victory, unfortunately. So I've got 7 clues, and it's going to be 5 of them. Wow, that's more than I had hoped to use. Well, that's 1, 2. They're both discarded, which means I've got this. So I'll find out what's happening at the end of the round. So what do I do with my last action? What if I play lockpicks with my copious amounts of money to be able to get this last clue and get the experience point from it? All right, so still no enemies coming for me. I got another perception, got even more resources. We got our first doom here. And locked door. Attached to the location with the most clues, which is my location. Oh, cannot be investigated until you pick the lock or break down the door. Oh, wait, crud, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing this because this would have resolved at the end of the round before we get to the doom and all that stuff phase. Oh, what the... Hibbs Roadhouse. So this would have been a different location if I'd had the other one. Easttown is connected to Hibbs Roadhouse. Easttown, that's kind of far away. Put Hibbs Roadhouse into play. Spawn the set-aside Sadie Sheldon enemy at Hibbs Roadhouse. Add the set-aside Act 2A, the Sheldon gang, and Act 3A face the music to the Act deck. Then advance to Act 2A. Okay. So Sadie Sheldon, not too hard to dodge around. Cannot move. Gets +1 health per investigator. Gets +1 fight for each damage on her to a maximum of +3 fight. Well, do I have to fight her? I don't want to fight her. We don't know this yet. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, the Sheldon gang. So like I thought, it determined which gang got it. The Sheldons wound up with the shipment. It's up to you to either talk Sadie into a deal or convince her it's not worth the trouble. Oh, are you frigging kidding me? Sadie Sheldon gains, spend up to 4 resources, parlay, test brain or fist. What the heck? Oh, this test gets -1 difficulty for each resource spent as part of the action's cost. Okay, so we can get it down to 1, which is still hard for me to beat. For each point you succeed by, place 1 of your clues on Sadie Sheldon. Oh my gosh. I literally have like nothing that will make this easy to do. Okay, when any damage is placed on Sadie Sheldon in advance, or if there are 3 clues on Sadie Sheldon in advance. Yeah, it's kind of a friggin' nightmare, man. So how many clues do I need? 3 clues? So I've got 2 clues. I can get the last one from the Miskatonic University in a second. I just don't know how I'm going to get this guy to advance. I can't punch him. I mean, at least I got a lot of money to help me. I just don't know if I have any cards left that are like question marks. I did not build my deck for this. Okay, so I did do that. And then what was the encounter? Locked door. Oh, that's right. I'd seen this. Okay, so to pick the lock on Miskatonic University, I would need to do I got a 6 versus 4. That should be okay. All right, so yeah, let's... Let's try to lockpick the locked door. I'm up by 2, but I might as well use something. Ooh, nimble is oh, no. It would move me too early. Look, for each point the skill test succeeds by after it resolves, you would move to a connecting location. But if I use it here, I would run away from the locked door, and that's not what I want. Okay, so I'm at 3 plus... Oh, cool. I get another token on Alton. If I somehow get one more, I can free gather a clue from the roadhouse. That's kind of neat. Oh, no, I still have to do the whole thing about spawning more enemies, potentially. Let's see. 1, no, 2, yes. I can put him on north side, though, so he's not in my way, and no. Okay. All right, so that was 1, 2, and then, yeah, to Rivertown, right? All right, back to, I haven't drawn out either of my weaknesses yet. That's good. How much money do I have for that whole thing? 4, 8. I almost have enough to pay him off twice. In fact, I'll gain enough from Lone Wolf in a moment for that. Or sorry, I'll pay him off 3 times, like get the maximum -4, so I can hopefully succeed at my 2 willpower. Ah, man. All right, it's 2. Oh, end of negotiations. Attach end of negotiations to the nearest criminal enemy. Limit 1 per enemy. If you cannot, end of negotiations gain surge. After an investigator parleys of this location, attach enemy and attacks that investigator. Oh, well, who cares? Because look, I can just put it on this guy. Who cares? Bye. All right. How much damage does he do? 2. So I can just like tank some attacks from him. All right, so 1, 2. And then what the heck is it, man? Spend up to 4 resources. Test that or that. So if I spend 4 resources, it'll be a 1. And for each point you succeed by, place 1 of your clues. So if I get win by 0, it's not even good enough to do anything. Man, I've got nothing that helps me. Well, I do have $1 million money. So let's go and spend forward, try it once. I'm testing brain. So if I get a 0, I can put 1 clue on him. If I get a 1, I can put 2 clues on him. I guess that's the best I can hope for. And no, what's that? -2. So that's just a failure. But I can try a few more times in a second. So he whaps me for 2. All right, but I get a little bit more money. Ooh, it's a question mark. It's a question mark. There's another new card from the new set. Exhaust artistic inspiration and discard 1 card from your hand or replenish an inspiration. After revealing chaos tokens, you can spend 1 inspiration to get +1 or -1 skill value for the skill test. Oh, I'd kind of rather play it. To use it multiple times, but I'm engaged with the guy now. Actually, am I engaged with him? I mean, I guess I technically am, but he also can't move, so if I left, he would just stay where he is. Oh, dang it, I gotta discard something again? When did that happen? I guess pickpocketing. All right, this does not seem great, y'all. Oh my gosh, this again? Okay, fine. I'm gonna test horror. I haven't actually taken any sanity damage yet, so it shouldn't be too bad. Ugh. -2, -4 if there's a criminal at your location. There is. So what do I lose? 3. I mean, the worst you can go to is 0. So I take 3 out of 6 horror in 1 shebang. Great. All right. No worries. Here we go. I'm going to shoot my shot. Okay, I'm going to spend 4 resources, get it down to 1. I'm going to... Where is it? I'm going to discard artistic inspiration to get to 3 skills. I'm up by 2. Okay, and... Oh, God, wait. That didn't give me anything, right? It just... discover 1. No. Oh, +1. Ooh, +1 for each enemy. Okay. Yes. 3. Wait, 2 +1, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. I can put all 3 of the clues on him and immediately. Yes. Let's go. Okay. So what happens if there are 3? Okay. I advance immediately. Your negotiations are cut short as Naomi O'Banion strides into Hibbs Roadhouse, accompanied by a pair of mobsters. That shipment is mine, Sadie, she says coldly. You duck down as her goons pull out their rifles and spray the walls and furniture with a hail of bullets. Oh my God. Spawn to set aside Naomi O'Banion and gang enforcer enemies at Hibbs Roadhouse. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 copy of Gang Soldier and spawn at Hibbs. What the frick? If there's at least 1 clue on Sadie Sheldon, place 2 damage on Naomi O'Banion. Okay. Move to 2 clues from Sadie Sheldon to any non-elite criminal enemies at Hibbs Roadhouse. And then each enemy with clues on it disengages from... Oh, each investigator gains aloof. Okay, that seems all right. I still have 2 actions, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so what was it again? It's Naomi, Gang Enforcer, and Gang Soldier. All right. Okay, and then I can move up to 2 clues from him. So he's also got a clue, and it can't be elite. Oh, so it's going to be literally everybody, right? Except for her? No, that's not elite either. Yeah, move up to 2 clues to any non-elite criminal enemies. Each enemy with clues on it disengages. Okay, so only Naomi's engaged with me, and she got shot for 2 damage. Oh, wait, lest I forget, damage was dealt to a criminal, so I'm going to test my 6 speed. And if I fail, reduce the damage taken to that enemy by 1 and take 1 direct damage. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm up by 3. Seems like it should be fine. Okay, beat it by 1. Okay, last one. Face the music. You found yourself squarely in the center of a gang war. Each criminal enemy with clues on it gains aloof. Yep. Okay, as an action, remove 1 clue from a criminal enemy at your location. Parlay. The enemy deals its damage to another enemy at your location. Oh, is this going to be the easiest thing ever? When the round ends... Oh, God, when the round ends, I'll be dead. If there's at least 1 elite enemy in the victory display, advance. So remove 1 clue from a criminal enemy at your location. I mean, deals its damage to another enemy at your location. But then they won't have aloof anymore, and they'll immediately attack me. But Naomi, how much life does she have? 4 plus 1 health per player, so 5. Oh, so I only got to do 3 damage too, and he's also got 5. Okay, so is it really this easy? As my second action, I'll have Gang Enforcer deal 2 damage to Naomi, and as my third action, I'll have Gang Soldier deal 1 damage, which defeats her for an experience. Heck yeah! And he's still not engaged with me. He's still aloof, so he won't attack me. But I do get shot for 3 damage, which would leave me with 5, so I'm fine. I don't even have to kill Alton, although I could. That's it, right? All right, cool. That went kind of smoothly. I mean, lucky. Oh, my God. I cannot believe that draw for the stupid putting the clues on the guy. Gosh, I need to, I don't know. I mean, going true solo, having neither of these was not a fun time this time. All right, let's see what it says. As the conflict erupts into outright bloodshed, you locate a small grate labeled Tillingast Endeavors in a back room. Keeping low to the ground, you scamper through the fight and back out to the cold evening air. The sound of shattering glass and heavy blows emanates from the building behind you. "Ah, applesauce," says a voice above you. A compact figure clad in black slides down a rappelling line and removes their mask. "I had a whole heist planned, you know, an informant, a calling card even," Ruby says, tossing a yellow rose on the pavement. "I don't think you could just walk in and ask politely, but well, I guess you won fair and square." All right, let's go to the resolution. You return to Tillingast east of Terrica with both the shipment and Ruby Standish. The jewel thief sulkily admits you beat her little wager and promises you a drink afterward with no mention of the double or nothing she proposed. A silver bell rings as you step into the familiar musty curio shop. Within moments, Randall has the box open on his desk. Inside is a small jade green idol wrapped in cloth. "I could not be more impressed," Tillingast says. His eyes glitter as he appraises the green figurine. As you look at the idol, your head swims. Rudy paces the foyer of the shop nervously and addresses your employer sharply. "All right, Tillingast, we held up our end of the bargain. Where's our cut?" The shop door rings again as Andy returns. Randall seats himself behind his desk and peers at you and the others over steepled fingers. "My suspicions have been confirmed. The relic is genuine. Well done. What if I told you I had an offer too good to refuse?" Okay, Ruby lost the bet. We just get, I think it was 3 experience, right, for the 2 locations we cleared out and the 1 elite enemy defeated. Oh, and we discover this glyph. Yes, it is like a new thing. You get these glyphs. Record depths under that word. So now I know that means depths. That's pretty fun. Okay, then we go to an interlude. And I'm going to go in and do the first interlude, but I'll save interlude 2 for the next video because that's when you actually start going to Relia or Cthulhu's Realm, wherever you're going. Interlude 1, an offer you can't refuse. What you have recovered is no mere curio. It was bought at great expense from a dealer in Egypt who inherited it from a relative who brought it in Peking, and you know how it goes. Randall smirks as you admire the ancient artifact. It is a vaguely humanoid figure sitting in a stooped position with a heavy, octopoid head and squid-like features. I wonder who that is. There is something malevolent in its expression, something unwholesome in the very way it was sculpted. You find it difficult to look away. If your investigator has the agency, detective, or criminal traits, no. By the way, one of the new kind of major things for the expansion is traits mattering more. You're about to see if they're going to suggest that I take like a certain sort of side goal based on my trait. And also a large portion of the cards in the investigator expansion are only attainable if you have a trait that matches them. These are experience cards you can buy into. Neutral cards, kind of, but again, they're based on your traits. This is a singular relic of prehistoric, dare I say, pre-human origins. Randall's voice breaks the spell. The rest of the eccentric antiquarian's story boggles the mind. He describes a record of some ancient cosmic struggle, and how he believes that all of Earth is on the cusp of an apocalypse, much like the one that destroyed the statue's creator. In all of human history, in every separate mythology, there exists a story of a great flood, a cataclysm. There are legends of a great city-state, a bastion of knowledge and might that sank beneath the waves. Humankind has named it many things, Atlantis, Mu, Lemuria, but its true name, a name that predates history, is Relia. Through much painstaking research and the assistance of a mad sailor named Gustav, I have pinpointed the relative coordinates of the ancient city, a stretch of ocean in the South Pacific where many sailing vessels have shipwrecked or disappeared with no explanation. Which brings me to my offer. I need someone bold and resourceful to lead an expedition to the ancient city. Someone to bring back evidence of its ancient knowledge, study its secrets, record its wonders. I need that person to be you. Randall says, looking to you, then to Ruby and Andy. Should you accept, I shall absolve you of any remaining debt and provide you enough money to retire comfortably, very comfortably, and of course lend my assistance for your other concerns. Your mind wanders back to these other concerns. All right, I'm going to pick a task. And there's two that are suggested for my classes or traits, because you see they have like a bunch of suggestions. Dream of Destruction or Plumb the Depths. That one sounds like investigating focus. I'm going to do that one. Recommended for Seeker, which I am, and Scholar, which I am. My guy is Scholar and Dreamer. You never meant to get involved with Randall or the mob or any of this. In fact, you cursed the line of inquiry that led you out past the edges of your safe old life and into this new one. But you can never suppress the inexorable itch to understand the world around you. Although you've been warned time and again that your curiosity will be the end of you, you can't deny the allure of the unknown. Randall has promised you all that and more. This job will make your career, put you on the map if you can just play your cards right. Okay, so we do Plumb the Depths, and we get to the task encounter. I looked at these. They're pretty cool. So mine is Plumb the Depths, and it starts on its incomplete side. And it says, permanent uses 5 obsession. After you discover the last clue at your location, remove 1 obsession from Plumb the Depths. When the game ends, if there are no obsessions on Plumb the Depths, you get to mark 1 progress under the task. And then at some point, I assume, you get to flip it to its completed side where you get a permanent +1 intelligence. And whenever you discover the last clue at your location, you can exhaust it to draw 1 card. Pretty dang good. Of course, I don't know what terrible thing happens if I don't do it often enough, but I mean, in a solo game, you saw how many locations I discovered the last clue from there. Shouldn't be too challenging. You narrow your eyes at Randall. There's something he's not telling you, some catch. There's always a catch with Tillinghast, just as there's always one more job to be done. You ask him what it is, and he sighs. I thought it was obvious, but this expedition is likely to be rather perilous, which is why I thought to entrust it to you. You've proven yourself to be quite resourceful, and as I said, I intend to reward you handsomely. Refuse or take the offer. What? I'll take the offer. Like what? Do I lose automatically? Oh, I literally do. That's going to lose a campaign. What the heck? Okay, interlude 4. Whatever his reasons for bearing the lead, the offer is too tempting to refuse. Ruby and Andy nod along with you in agreement. Tillinghast's face breaks into a familiar smirk. How lovely. I'd hoped you would say yes. Truly, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. I assure you this will change everything. After Andy negotiates for a comprehensive supply of film and Ruby ups her commission, Tillinghast outlines the plan for the expedition. Tomorrow, a train will take you to San Francisco, where the Cassandra will sail you down to provided coordinates in the South Pacific. There's an excited, almost childlike glee as the antiquarian outlines the details. I've sent supplies enough to last the entire expedition several months if needed. That said, be prepared for anything. All right, so I'm going to stop there, figure out what I want to spend my 3 experience on, and try to bolster my weaknesses somehow. I didn't even get to... Did I ever... I think I used my ability like once or twice, right? My evading thing. I didn't really have to evade very much because there weren't very many enemies hunting me. I was just kind of getting rid of them, so kind of an odd scenario for my character. But I mean, the deck seems to work well, except for that. Like, I don't even mind the lack of strength. But yeah, if I can find it, is there anything in what I can get up to 2 value for Rogue, up to 5 value for Seeker, neutral card level 0 to 5. I don't know. I'll look through off camera. And again, I'm going to continue the campaign. And I didn't even show you the flood tokens yet. This is like the big new mechanic that locations are slowly flooding. I think this is going to actually happen in the second scenario, but that'll be over on Patreon, so come watch that if you like. But thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, and Steve Wren. We'll see you at the next stop.